So our awareness is the root of everything, absolutely everything. And this awareness, it's not some kind of washed out, impartial, neutral reality where there's nothing going on, where there's just this and nothing else coming to some kind of conclusion that's fatalistic, neutral, or impartial. Rather, that aware basic space that is the reality of what we are is inseparable from compassion. So just as the wetness of water is inseparable from the water, or the warmth of fire is inseparable from fire, compassion is inseparable from aware basic space. To settle for some idea of oneself that is limited to impartiality, neutrality, emptiness, nothingness, no thought, no self, a non-conceptual state, the void, even bliss and clarity. We don't need any ideas to prop up what we are. None. One moment the description of what we are may be bliss, the next clarity, the next nothing, the next no thought, the next no self. But that doesn't mean that's what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just like saying we're anything else, a body, a him, a her, whatever it is. So we don't need any ideas. No points of view do we need to prop up our awareness. Awareness doesn't need anything to tell it what it is, because awareness is primary as everything. Without awareness, no thing would be, no appearance would be. So to understand that something is either non-existent or existent, these are just two extremes. These are two extremes, but they're extremes, neither of which apply to a definitive description of awareness, because awareness cannot be gotten at through intellectual speculation, and it can't be gotten at through metaphorical approximation either. So the reality of our own awareness is to know that in each perception, no matter what it is, that perception is awareness. It is awareness and nothing else. There's not a subject looking at a perception, which is an object, and then deciding the subject is awareness and the object or the perception is awareness too. There's only awareness as the perception. That's it. There's never been a split. There's never been a division. There's never been a fragmentation of any kind. Awareness has never suffered a fracture, any kind of a fracture, not ever. So no matter if we look at all the words and we take ourselves to be all the words in the dictionary and life to be all the things in the dictionary and the world and cosmos to be all the things in the dictionary, including consciousness, then whatever those things are that we decide upon, that's what will be. That's all that will be. When I was 7 years old, I looked around and I thought, wow, everyone is just who they think they are. And if I try to be like anyone else, then I'll end up just like they are. If I copy that, then that's the way I'll end up. So I saw that was nowhere to go fast. That didn't look like how I wanted to spend my life. And we all see lots of ideas, but it's up to us as to who we take ourselves to be. Whoever we take ourselves to be, that's who we are. It really is so simple. There's no complexity whatsoever in that which has never known complexity. So the rest of our own being, the complete ease of our own being in its natural state that doesn't need to reify, to get caught up in perceptions and descriptions, to shape them, form them into elaborate stories of what everything is, that ease is the essence of our being. It's the secret key of our being. And, we can wait around forever for someone to tap us on the forehead and make us realize the reality of what we are, or, hope that it'll come from somewhere outside ourselves. But the reality of what we are is that we already are what we are. And in the ease of our own being is the acquaintance and full familiarization with what we are. The full evidence of that in every moment of life is each perception. It's not separate from each perception. If we try to get rid of all the perceptions, at some point they'll flood back in. Even if we can hold them off until we're on our deathbed. When we're on our deathbed, then they'll flood back in. Because you see, we lose our capacities when we're dying. Did anyone know that? When we're dying, we lose all our capacities. We can't grab onto all the objective supports. We're just going into pure space, and we don't have anything to hold on to. So to try to hold on to any kind of state, like nothingness or emptiness, it won't be the reality of what we are, because you see, we're neither nothing nor something. That's what it comes down to. We're neither nothing nor something. All we can really say about ourselves is that no matter what we are, it has no origin that's independent of awareness. Without awareness, we would not know that we are. Without awareness, we would not know that we're naturally present. So just that ease of awareness that is the reality of every single perception, it is the full evidence of enlightenment. There's no full evidence of enlightenment outside every perception. And we never know what perception will happen next. So, if we're waiting for some kind of sudden enlightenment, it's unlikely we'll ever get it. But if we're acquainted with the reality of our own being, then it's very likely we will know who we are, and the full evidence of that will be real. But it really requires that we not persist in taking ourselves to be all the words in the dictionary. A him, a her, a body, a mind, memories, thoughts, emotional states, sensations. As long as we take ourselves to be those things and limit our life to the confines of that, it's like living within a corral, one of those places where they put horses, cows, and such things. Such animals. We'll live our life within a corral of all of our own words that we take ourselves to be. So, it's up to us. What do we want? What do we want? Do we want the great adventure of the reality of what we are in every moment? And if we want that, it's ours. It's really that simple. And as I said a little while ago, it isn't circumstance dependent. So it doesn't matter if we live in India or in America or Europe or Africa, South America, Australia. We can live anywhere and know who we are. We don't need to be in a special place, nor do we need to be in any kind of special setting. We can be in certain kinds of settings that are labeled spiritual settings if we want to, but it isn't necessary. The reality of our being, if you want to call it spiritual, it is spiritual. But we could just say, well, it really doesn't have a category. It's neither spiritual nor non-spiritual. It just is. And when it comes to us as human beings, what we can say is that we all already are it. We all already are what we are. So know that as yourself. Know yourself as all-inclusive awakened awareness that was never collapsed into any idea of a mind, a body, an ego, all of these other labels of what we take ourselves to be. They're all fun. They're all fun. There's no denying it, to have a body and to be dancing around this life and knowing humanness and that kind of thing. There's a lot in that that's really, truly tremendous. But we really can't know anything about it. We can't have a sublime knowing or understanding of that if that's all we take ourselves to be. So when we rest just at ease as the essence of our being, with this understanding that we're nothing but pure space, so we're pure space, then with each perception, there's greater and greater ease in our life with no limit.